So today I'm going to take a look at a project that I did on glass with gold leaf, and it's for a guy named Mark called me and said that he was interested in getting a custom glass piece made, and we got into the details of it, and I got really excited because as you'll see, it's Sanskrit lettering for his daughter's name, which is Maitri, and kind of just let me run with it and design whatever I felt I would fit with it. And anybody who's followed my work for a while knows that there's a heavy Buddhist and Hindu influence in the style of my artwork and in the coloring, and was able to kind of run wild with that on this, and had a really great experience working with these guys, and found out later that Mark's wife goes by Chalky Paws on Instagram. She does some beautiful chalk work of pets, and so go check that out. That was really neat to see, and we're going to go through step by step of the making of this glass piece for you today. Creating commissioned art piece like this starts with doing a color mock-up, which is what you're seeing here, and this is mostly just a guide that will inform what colors go where in the final piece on the glass. Obviously the color representation, there's some variance to the final piece that you'll see, but this is basically a guide. And this allows me to show the client the color scheme. You know, a lot of this commissioned work is, you know, small decisions are made in the middle of the process as far as what's going to look best. But this at least gives the client something to look at to see where the direction of the piece is heading. Next step is the outlining process. This is all done in reverse on glass, and all of the little details have to be executed so that the gold leaf and the colored paint sections can then be painted in also in reverse, so that when the glass is flipped around you can see everything in its place. And this can get really, really complicated when you're executing in reverse on glass, because you have to stack the colors in the reverse way that they would typically be seen. So if you don't stay on top of it, you can easily paint in the wrong order and end up with something looking very incorrect on the other side and basically ruining the piece and having to start over. So this is a very painstaking process to get this put together. Then the next step is the coloring of the piece, and this process you'll notice in some of these scenes I'm using magnifying goggles, definitely at the very least reading glasses to be able to see. There's so many tiny details in this border pattern especially, that unless you can really get a good look at it, executing that fine of a detail with a brush is extremely difficult without being able to see it. Once the gilding process starts, all of this gold leaf is being applied with a water solution of distilled water that I melt down food grade gelatin into. And what this does is this allows me to lay the leaf, and as you can see, as the leaf dries, it turns into a mirrored finish because all of the water is evaporating and the gelatin is then grabbing the gold and adhering it to the glass. And it gives a brilliance and a finish that is just outstanding and looks like nothing else. This next step is called backing up, and this is a really fast drying black enamel paint that I'm covering up the gold leaf areas so that I can then remove the excess gold. And so this again takes really a lot of patience, but now that I'm scrubbing with a special brush, I can scrub off the excess gold and expose the clear glass in the areas where there's supposed to be clear glass, and isolate everything so it works as a resist to hold the gold to the glass and isolate it. And the finished process is just brilliant and gorgeous. On this piece, I chose to apply genuine silver leaf over the background of everything to give it a antiqued mirror finish. And so what you're seeing here is the same water process of applying the leaf. The silver leaf takes quite a bit longer to dry because it's much thicker than genuine gold leaf. And as the water evaporates, it starts to create a mirrored finish as well. And then there's a distressing process I'll do to that.
Oh! Wow, that is beautiful. Unbelievable. Wow, better than I could imagine, right? Wow. Thank you. Yeah, Maitri, that's your name. Unbelievable.
So I was curious, just like what inspired you to call Sean or email Sean?
Well, I mean, his artwork is impeccable, and luckily he's a Texan, so he's easily accessible for us. Mm-hmm. You can just come down here from Dallas and pick up the artwork, and yeah. Everything worked out really well. Auspiciously, he's, a student of wisdom. So we appreciate that. Yeah.